We're going to talk about the leg in series. If there's other questions you have, let me know. We'll talk about tops. Some people are afraid to show their kids' legs because, most of the time they give up reversals. They don't do some things accurately. So we're going to start with, the basic position. I'm going to turn this way real quick. Just try to get each angle. And here's the basic position. Then we'll talk about how you put your leg in there, and then we'll talk about some turns. If you have questions along the way, just, slow me down a bit. Basic positioning on leg riders. I'm a righty, so my right leg comes in. I put a half a boot in, so I have a half a boot, a cowboy up on it right here, and I have an ankle. See? And I don't worry about getting the figure four just yet. I think this, we're all getting pretty old. I call this old school, and I'll talk about this for a minute. When you wrap on this, the only negative to old school is a lot of times they don't cross body. So they sit on their cheeks too much. So, you can teach your kids to do that. We have some people, Bo Jordan does it, but we'll talk about that. I think when you talk about the figure four, which we're going to mainly focus on, it's really your back leg. So I'm going to show you guys. Turn your back this way. Now switch around. So you have your leg in. This leg is really important. Because when you have your leg, even when you're draped and you're cowboyed up on them, everybody always has their leg like this. This knee should be really rammed up your butt. So you're forward. So when I go to break and flat, I can immediately figure four. Right? So you're around here. Because out of all the people I showed the leg series, it's like this. As soon as you get them flat, it's this leg that has to drive. This, whether it's driving on the side or your knee, rammed around his butt. It's pretty important. Because this is how I get him flat. As soon as he goes flat, my shoelaces go right up on the back of my knee. Alright? So, if you're going to show your guys a half leg in or half boot, you can ride like this. You can ride, still the same way. But just keep this leg, I would tell them to keep it between the 2 feet. Keep it between 2 feet. And never steps out here, you can't get him flat. It's too strong. You need this extra boost in here to make sure he goes flat. So, most important part of this thing. And your knees, by the way, are always this way. And these are going this direction. Some people that struggle with it, their knees are going this way, this knee's going that way. So this is trouble. That sits your hip and now all of a sudden trouble happens. Here's when the reversals start happening. Keeping your cheeks higher, your knees in the right position, cowboy up on them, and driving with your back leg. Real important. So, once you get them flat, you twist them on here. Once you get them flat, the other thing is to have the right pressure, right? As weird as it sounds, your privates are kind of on his cheek. I try to bow his back up. I want to bow his back up. How do you do that? Your lock position on your figure four is in the middle of his knee and his cheek. I'll show you what I mean by that. And I'm on a straight leg. Now, what happens if my lock slides into his kneecap? He'll tell you there's no pressure in there, guys. There's no pressure on my knee. It looks like you're doing everything right, but he'll tell you when I land on it, there's no pressure on it. So, again, your lock is my private's on his cheek, on a straight leg, my knee's open. This is what gives him torque, so when you start doing this, opening the hips up. That's what you're trying to do, okay? So again, make sure that you have the right lock. Again, slide up too far, no pressure. Your hips are up too far, your figure four, you're up this high, there's not as much pressure. Your ankle in. Alright? So, figure four, straight leg, knees out. That's what they call figure four in leg. So when you start running it, take my knees off the mat. If your kids struggle because their knees are usually down. There's no pressure again. You know what I'm saying? When I'm like this, there's no pressure. My knees are on there. Now, when I start putting my knee, straight leg and knee up, that's why you're here saying straight leg and hop. This is what we're talking about. Straight leg, open knee up, hop. Alright? So, we got basic position. The lock is between his knee and his hip. You have a figure four with your knee open. And you know that? It's pretty simple. Always looks simple until you watch him wrestle. Then it becomes not that simple. Alright? So, that's the basic generic position. Now how do we get to this? I think that one of the easiest ways to get into it is because you're going to teach your kid to stop. Stop the first move, right? Everybody goes down, you're set. What do you tell your kid? Stop the first move. He's going to try to beat you with a punch. So the easiest way I tell our guys to do is just, whether your kids may like half ride or claw ride. So what I have them do is claw ride, and you ride, you have to have your chest up on your backside. You got the same leg in, you'll get to that. You know, so again, say I'm doing a claw, my shoulder is underneath his head. This is not a good claw ride. This is not a good claw ride. I got nothing on that. So when you're a good claw ride guy, you're like this, and then on my feet, see how I'm pulling his head down? And then I open his thigh up, and then I take it back. So you want a nice smooth transition from your claw, and if you're long, and jagged, you're long, you know, you might get away with it. Throwing it, see him on the left side, throwing it away. When you're short like me, you don't do that. Claw ride, you bump them. As soon as this opens up, I jump sides. I jump sides, and now I'm back to where I started, right? This. So, again, claw ride, easiest way to do it, right? Here's another way that I get into it. You can do it from the half ride as well. But again, remember, you know, also when I'm working my half, you have to do this, doing this, right? Open the hips up, step back around to it. Now, it doesn't work as good if you don't open the hip up and you've got his elbow back here like this, right? Your leg's not so good. So make sure you're shuffling it forward, open the thigh fly, and then dig it. This way's a little bit harder to do. I call this you know, the old Pennsylvania ride. You watch Pennsylvania knee and butt and sit on this. They sit on this all the time. So it's hard to get out actually. It sits on your ankle. You know, I got trapped in there. I don't think mine's going anywhere. So what I do is I have one arm underneath, one over top, and you have to get up on your feet. People stay on their knees and try to. So lift them up like this. So I lift them with my left cheek, and ready to throw my block is on. I'm in. Now he's not on his stomach like I want him to, but he's almost punched over his other head. So I immediately go to this figure four. Alright? Again, it looks pretty easy. A little harder to balance yourself there. A good ride, underneath, over top. And the reason I'm over top is I'm always doing this to him. Tie him up. And then I can buck his head. And start making some things happen. So you lift out his ankle, get to your feet. Remember, block this arm. Block this arm. That's the place. This guy. I had him hooked. I was riding anyway. I went up on my feet. I lifted him up. Lift him up, leg. Got him. That hurt him. So there's two. The third way. And you saw this a little bit last night. A couple guys tried it. Didn't do it 100%. Josh Schneider's got even more up. Tilting the leg in. This isn't a series on tilting, but you saw a lot of guys trying on tilting. You know, they did a good job, you know, kind of getting in the breaking point. Remember, it's got to be like a lawnmower, right? My other knee has to be on his thigh, and I have to get him on his shoulder. And this is the part that you struggle with. When you go to tilt, you go to elevate, knees up, my elbow's on his hip. To make that work. The only reason I show you a little bit about tilting is because it's a good way to get your leg in. You know, it's a good way when I do this to him, say forget about the tilt, my knees are up. Watch what happens when I let him come up. As soon as I leg up, he rolls right on. And it's back to normal. So those are the three ways I kind of show people to get their leg in. The half ride, claw ride. I hook the ankle, lift it up. And then tilt. Tilting is an easy way to do it. Try to get your swipes, and then secure something. And again, just want to talk about tilting again for just 1 second. Because if you can't tilt, this leg coming into me, you're not going to get that. You know, when you have this wrist, my other knee's on the side. My other knee's my back knee does this to me. Runs forward still. And once he gets on the shoulder, this part, the knee elevates. And then you let him bridge in 1, 2, 3. You go around the leg. Normal. So, Tilting's not a recession. You can know how to do that next time. Any questions so far? Pretty basic. Okay, the easiest term we can talk about. We all have done it before. I'll just give you a couple mechanics to it. It's just after you open up the hips, and this is again in front of this is what I call open up the hips. See how those hips? That's called open. Just so you know my terms. Open hips up, neck, and space up. Right? So you get your leg in. You're on your straight leg, and I'm constantly trying to do this one. Open hips. Start higher than I'm on my hands. And cross facing out. Once I get in the criteria, you know, the rest starts swiping them. Starts giving me some swipes. Then I change my footing. He finally goes over. I don't say my feet, I look at my knees. So I have ankle to ankle, across like this. So I have a knee post, a hand post, and his head. So I'm switching around a little bit. Ankle to ankle, so now I have a post. Just in case he gets swirly and rolls into me. Rolls into me. Oh, back. Turn. So, the easiest one is just cross facing. I'm sure we're pretty familiar with that. I don't know if you guys finish it like that. Another way to get just that cross face on, you know, and then I'll try not to be gentle on Mike, you know, is to do this to him. I constantly do this to him. I put his ear on his shoulder, and then once he gets right here, I let him go back home. Underneath. So here's what I do. On the right leg guy, I take my hand and like this and try to, at the same time, I bend it back. So he goes, oh, I'm in trouble. So I rip his head this way, open hip at the same time. As soon as he goes into criteria, I start choking him. Wow, shouldn't say that. Hold his head like a foot. No wrestling here, right? I don't need to choke. I mean, getting near fall. But again, this part right here, Mike will tell you, when I'm like this line, this part when I start keeping his ear on his shoulder, yeah, that's what makes it go. And maybe I don't want that. Switch, switch, switch. That's pretty generic. Any questions? I hope his head. We're good? So, get him flat again. And a lot of our guys, I mean, I'm a leg in, arm bar guy. You know, I mean, leg in, but you have the leg in. This time I'm going to go across him like this. I'm going to cross body him. I'm going to place my elbow like this on him. And then with 2 hands. Look at that, 1 hand's tough. 2 hands, I'm stronger than now. And I go like this. As soon as I put it down by his hip, watch this again. So, you're like this, cross body right. I have tight on too, by the way. My chest is up a little bit. People that struggle sometimes don't have this. But place your elbow first, and grab his wrist, palm up. Use 2 hands. I didn't go, lift it up. He starts going, oh my God, again. I'm trying to be gentle with it too. And then after that, I open his hips up, his hand will be caught like this. Back to cross face. Any questions? You can slide back a little bit. So you have this, you have it flat, you're up on top. 2 hands on one. Raise it up a little bit. Gentle. Straighten it out. And straighten it out. Back to one. It's in your corner. So, which brings us to, again, like I said, I start ripping them up. You know, slow me down. This is probably my favorite part of the leg right series, the leg and arm bar. Because you can do this in freestyle, you can do this in scholastic, college wrestling. And most people don't do it very well. So if you're a good top guy, this leg and bar series is really nice. Okay, you have your leg in. You're breaking, you finally get a flat. Remember, everything started with this, right? You started like this. And you might have to hook. You know, again, remember what I said at the beginning. Whether I have a half a boot or old school, you have to anchor yourself in on both sides. So this is my anchor, my right side. And then my left side is this. So my style, if you see Steve do this a little bit, everybody pull him out and go back into his half, right? I'm going to do it from when I get him flat. Push, flat. This is an awkward position for anybody. Some people think, like when you train and try to do this, they go like this, legs in, put on your kneecap and go. That's not really what happens. You have to kind of go like this with your elbow, forward. It has to get extended this way, so it's weird. You know, your kids will have to they'll be uncomfortable for a second. And I put my fist in his armpit, and I open his hip. My other hand's right here. You notice I also hop a little bit. I keep my hop going. So again, this awkward motion, this is going to be awkward because most of your kids aren't used to doing this. Like flexing their back and going like this, dumping the hips. And this hand's important because this keeps them from rolling on top of you. And then these extra hops. I got your arm bar tight, I can let off my legs and go back to what I want to. And so here's how I teach them to do it. You know, I have to say strong leg lower. Strong leg lower you want. And this is how you get good at doing it. Because if he just is a noodle, you don't practice it like this. See, I got it, coach. I did what you did. Right, his arm comes back. I make him stay strong in this position. I said, okay, I'm gonna get that left arm, coach. Here we go, go. Yeah, it's easy. We're trying to do that to anybody. We have big guys out here do that. Big arm behind his back. So again, make him stay solid right here. Stay solid. Stay solid. I want that left arm right. Here we go. Ready? Go. And so it'll help them from doing this, guys. See, coach, I did it. You know, you see, you shouldn't be able to stretch the arm like this. Nothing pisses me off even with my own son. His arms are behind his back. Right? Especially when they're being lazy. So just one more thing when you build your base. Just because my son's a first year wrestler and he's just learning. And this gets you in trouble when you build your base, right? What do you think that gets you in trouble? When you push up like this. Hey, that's what Logan Stever and try to build your base by doing this. Come on. It's a gift to him. You're saying, I want to make a pin. Learn how to build the base right. Your arm shouldn't automatically go back. You're going to get hurt. He's going to hurt you. I promise you. You know, anybody that keeps an arm wrong will hurt you. So, you got regular, your leg in, cross this. Right? Leg in, got his arm, put it back. Watch this again. Leg in, arm up. Any questions on that so far? Anybody, we go to the place that's pretty easy stuff? Here's the next one I try to get people to do because I know what's going to happen. You get your leg in, you immediately bring his knees, you get this part in, and anybody that's working the arm says, you better get this knee up, right? He better try to run. Now at least he has a post, right? If he doesn't have a post there, this part is just, it's inevitable, right? That's inevitable. At the end of the day, he better have something like that, right? At least have a knee. So, and I know he's going to do that. This coach is good. I know he's going to put his other knee up. Here's what I want you to do if this happens. So you're trying and you're really working and you've had trouble getting this. You know, I still feel like I need it. And I want you to change off of this. Work this. I can't do that. Cross face. Put your hand under the shin. And then take your leg out. Great. He'll put himself right in there for you. You turn this way. You know, I know he's going to bring that up. I'm working. I'm actually trying to leave on a tail high as it turns. That's how high you want to know. This is what we're going to do. And you don't have any, I'm short, I don't have any leverage or height to get up there. So as I'm working this, I can't get it, I just go like this. This is what people forget. Push his elbow into this mean cross face. That's tight. This isn't tight, guys. This isn't tight. Push his elbow all the way on both sides. So it's like this. I'll tell you. Push it around. Again, you think that it's right the same way when you're like this. That's not as good. Push this thing into this. It might tell you, he's in trouble now. I have a nice tight cross face. The other part of this I say is, I used to put my hand in between his legs, but you know, they start spinning. When I put it underneath his shin, when I put it underneath his calf here like this, it helps him bow upright. When I put it right here, underneath. I don't put my left hand. Ram this thing all the way to his face is touching his knee and sit him up. Anyone know why I sit him up? Any question? Anyone know why I sit him up? That is yoke and back. No ideas? Here, look at it this way. So the teenager needs to fall. You finally get this. And it's tight. If I pull him back and top me, who's underneath me? Me. Right? I can't pin him. So, after you get this without hurting my outside here, I take my right leg, I step it up, outside leg. Once I do, I extend my leg and I slide my left knee underneath his cheek. What happens now? Now when I rock him back to sleep, then his blades can go down. And this is a little bit tricky. I mean, it doesn't take that much. If you still got to pay attention a little bit, if you did a good job doing this, I don't want to fall. Again, outside leg goes up, left knee goes underneath his cheek, and I sit him up watching TV. Sit him up, then rock him back as much as you can. And then you can finish anywhere you want. You can put your knee in his ribs, you can do whatever you want. Any question on cross-face frame on leg in? See, everyone always thinks when you put your leg in, it's just going to be leg riding. I can tell you, you start with the half, you want the leg in, with the ball, that then once you look at cradle, so you have leg in turn, you have an arm bumper, you have cradle. Plenty of options is what I'm getting at. And you know what? Leg riding is an equalizer. Is that fair to say? I have a kid underneath, he can't get away. He can't get away. You know, while it's stuck because that's the area where I think we struggle over time. You know, have a good fundamentals on bottom. You know, make sure you get away. We have three guys. They get away, come on, win the nationals. Come on, win. Don't get away. You have to be good in every area. You got to be a good takedown guy. You got to be able to hold him down when you need to. You got to be able to get away without looking at the coach. The cornerman should not be like in question what's going to happen. You should have to go forward. You should decide that corner. Listen, you're going to wrestle Rutherford. You're up by 2 takedowns. You don't need it. What are we going to show the world? A superstar bomb? Hell, I don't care about that. I got to get your handles. You know, that's my job. Get your handles. Swing tight. You know what I mean? So, why didn't you go down? Who's afraid? He ain't afraid. It's just being smarter than you. Strategy, go get 2 takedowns. Ride him, score 1. He goes down, ride him out, try to turn him. He gets away, another takedown. You don't have to. That's where you're awesome. You know, and trust me, you know, there's a part of me sometimes that says get underneath. If we need to win, you do it. It's 0-0, you need to win, then you do what you do. But you got to, like I said, your job is to get wins. It's not to walk around the coolest and that's to get a W for your kid. You know, I'm not saying, take up room for people. 3 takedowns, turn. Okay. So, there's a question right here. On legs, yeah, I do have some defenses. I'll start with some easier things. First things first, I know he's a great leg rider. I immediately narrow my base. You know, I immediately do this. Instead of being real wide, I narrow the base. There's an easy answer. If he gets a leg in, I can tell him, instead of trying to fight this, listen, Mike, as soon as I get this in, how is he going to get this out of it? So I just would have a light, you know, tell him so, those guys, go to the grab by, you know. He throws the leg in. Listen, you got to be careful because this is what happens to people. You know, I sit, and all you do is sit him back. I want him on his cheek. You sit him back on the cheek, but you can't stay here. You actually have to go to your, I'm on my right cheek. You actually have to go to your left cheek. Because then I can do this. Then I can, this comes out for a second, right? I made it come out. And then I step on his foot and hit my back off on my right. So I didn't tell him to go to the grab line because we haven't had a lot of success. I have some foot fighting things I'll show you in a second. But we haven't had a lot of success. Just, you know, mule kicking or this ends up getting, you know, guys are too clean and good. You know? So I just have him sit. And all I do is have him go like this. He's got it right. I'm just talking so he gets on his cheek and I switch my other cheek. And then I grip my palms down, lift it out, hip high shoulder. You know, is there any easy way? No. He's really good and you're only okay. You know, hence Rutherford. They were good on that. Rutherford's a beast on top of it. With that semi, you know, figure 4 lock that he does on the waist. You know, he's really good there. You know, that's probably his best position. You know, so that being said, it's like, hey, sometimes if you did a lot of things right, you still got rhythm. You know what I mean? But I do some things like this too, and not everybody can do, so I don't show them that often. My team doesn't even do it. After this one. Yeah, you know, if you're going to be this guy, you better ride your base. There you go. Here's what I do. I go like this. This is some goofy stuff right here. So I call it split fight. You know what I mean? And here's how I do it. You have a fire hydrant. Put my foot back. Tail went underneath it. And then if I can hook it. You know, can everybody do this type of stuff? You know, everybody can do it. So I just, you know, when case by case when it comes up, you know. You can also kind of hip check and step on his foot and bring it back out. And I would recommend probably, again, I can't tell you enough. When he puts his leg in, and you go to sit him back with his butt and stay forward. If you get stretched out, you're in trouble. You have to stay involved. And it's tough. Remember, he's swinging me back, and I'm leaning forward, and I'm going to have a check and get this out. If I get this out, I'm okay. Like whether I step on his foot, and you'll notice when we're like this, when I get on his foot, I usually don't do this, guys. Everyone's a little different. The reason why I never pull this in this way, he hooks that, and he hooks this. So I call it opening up the gate. Open up. I got some height now. Now I can get, look at him. Let's say I'm sitting on his kneecap. Can't get off. I can slide off my fat butt and go off into that. You can't go over the high rod. So he did everything right. He has his leg in. I'm not on my right, I'm on my side. I go to my opposite cheek. My thumb, even this part is being moved. Instead of being like this, he's on my wrist. I can't do that. I just made it harder. I finally got it out. Now here's the thing. If his knee was high, say his knee was, you can't go over that high rod. You can't get high enough. That's why, again, I put my back. So I lean out, so my cheek is on his kneecap, right here. And then I stepped on it, and then I slid out to make that work. So there's a couple of mechanics in there that you really got to be good at. You can't go over the high rod pick. I had his knee down, I can slide off it. So, is it textbook? No. Is it give you a chance to win? Yeah. Better than sitting. The thing I always say I'm not at any level, when he does nothing, I can rest on top. If I'm a legger, and he's just hanging out, and I finally get him back, and he's just fighting this, I'm kind of really taking a breather. Even when I'm catching my breath. Uh-oh, it's not. Yeah, they're moving. So, any other questions? Any questions? Okay. Where are we at here, folks? Yeah, we're just about done. That's the generic version. There's a few other things. If I could just close it up and say, get him to do the basic position first. Don't get excited about so many moves, more than just being, get the leg in and being solid. Like this is solid. So I'm pushing, this is solid. Lifting up, getting him flat. Again, said it right at the beginning. Your right leg's in, and you have your guy like, lift on my leg back here. That's the problem. That's the problem. Sits on my cheeks. Problem. Get him to get the basic generics of this basic position, and work on getting them flat. Just have to start like this. Hey, it's going to be ripped down. You know? Then once they get real comfortable, figure forward, and the rest of them start opening up. Leg in, cross face. Leg in, arm bar. Leg in, cross face, straight over. And again, we didn't talk about power pass, ball and chain tilt, rolling through. But any questions? Yeah. Barn? Here's what I tell people to do with the barn. Now, again, Logan Stevens is incredible. He bars, he jumps out, and he has a half mouse that goes like this. Like, it goes like this. And it's, he has a half that's so deep around his, but all we have to do is get the shoulder under he's good. I make it easier once I have this, and you don't run it. He's going to show you bars. I just have to do this. This easy way. Besides, I call this old school. Slip back, run it, or I usually go outside. This is pretty easy. Put my knee in his kidney, put him on his shoulder, come out front. Come out front, like this was that. Shoulder, then slide and jump side, slide it down. Don't let his arm come out there. Either you can bar half, run it normal, knee. But I normally go this direction if you're just someone that just runs your skills, also like his. Armbar half hand. Looks easy to me. Just hard for some people to do. Yeah. Once I get the armbar, this is normal. Some people start running. He's having, way down. So I kind of just jump sides. My post side. Let me turn this way a little bit. My knee is right on the kidney, by the way. I have this. Go arm with arm. Put my this down. If I don't put this down and not arm with armpit, slacks won't come down. So that's why I go like this, arm with armpit. He's on the shoulder, grab his head, pull his head back a little bit. And as soon as I lock my hand from my right shoulder in his sternum, you just come on. So people pin like this, their chest is straight, I won't smother them. I'm actually like this. Lifting this up. So I'm not chest to chest, I'm actually burying my shoulder right in the sternum and look up on his head. And I also have his head arm like this. You got it. You ever wrestle somebody just go here, wait that way? And you're like this, and you're like this. You have to do this to them. Head, shoulder, watch what happens. Blades go that way. Got it. This way, not so good, right? I'm getting points. Hitting, elbows together. Any other questions? We're good? Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.